Good evening, my friends abroad. Good day to my friends here in the United States. Uh, this is Kevin Miles bringing you. I'm going to do a combination. I sort of got inspired by the millennials. The ones that do have multiple gigs. But me being a branding guy and an entrepreneur, my expression is going to take a slightly different turn. So I have several brands. And one of them is called Beach Patriot. And what a patriot means to me is someone who loves their country. That's a patriot. And if you love your country, you you want to make it better, but you also recognize the things that are great about it. There's a lot of things that are great about America. There are a lot of things that need to be improved. If it wasn't true, people wouldn't be in the street. People are in the street for a reason. That doesn't mean that violent protest is okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. And so I want to talk to us as patriots, not as blacks, not as whites, not as Democrats, not as Republicans, but as patriots. We can all see that we can see that this isn't just a normal time. This isn't just a regular election season. There's nothing regular about any of this. When you've been shut down for 6 months because of a virus that it turns out is less deadly than the flu, but you've been told to stay in for 6 months. You've been told to wear a mask everywhere you go for 6 months for a virus that's less deadly than the flu. I know it's all over the TV. I get it. I know you know people who have died from it. I get that too. This is a time where people can't figure out what's true and what's not true. And we patriots, the patriots need to unite to help everybody figure that out. What's true and what's not true. So the patriots, the folks that I'm trying to organize, just to support this idea that patriots need to just unite around the idea of being patriots. It's a big idea. It's a beautiful idea. Patriots. Are you a patriot? Do you love your country? If the answer is yes, I don't care about the rest. You can be any color, any gender. You can believe that purple unicorns are going to descend from heaven and save us. That's cool. Whatever you're into, whatever floats your boat. But are you a patriot? And let's just say, patriots don't shoot at other patriots. We don't need to shoot at each other. We need to figure out what's true and what's not true. And we need to do it with a loving, understanding, kind of spiritual approach. Whatever your faith may be. In your faith, whatever your faith may be, there has to be something that says do unto others as you would do unto yourself. There must be. Let's try that. Let's do that right now, everybody. Doesn't matter how different you think you are from somebody. Doesn't matter how much you may think you despise someone. Right now, we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. The boat has a couple holes in it. What are we gonna do? Fight each other or repair the boat and save all of ourselves? What do you all think? I mean, whoever this is, you're watching some guy in a frazzled hat on a video talking about patriots. Are you a patriot? What are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to see the divine in your person that comes before you, wherever you may encounter them? Are you willing to see the divine in them, even when they may be a little bit out of alignment? You have to think of, these terms that are in all of our faiths that we claim to adhere to. Am I my brother's keeper? The answer is, you better be. You don't have a choice. You have to be your brother's keeper now. Because if not, there are people who want to just see people fight each other. And they're people are putting a lot of money into that idea. What are we going to do? Are we going to fall for the Okie Doke? Or are we going to understand the Wokie Doke? The Okie Doke is the half-truth. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., my Morehouse brother, wrote a piece in the school paper at Morehouse when he was 17 years old. And it was called The Purpose of Education. And his main theme was that it was to discern between truth and propaganda. And he said, propaganda are half-truths. That's the Okie Doke. A half-truth is the Okie Doke. And the whole truth, that's the Wokie Doke. We need to get on the Wokie Doke and avoid the Okie Doke. And it's really that simple. If you can just think about, is this the Okie Doke? Just ask yourself, when you hear something, when somebody tells you you need to fight your brother, you need to ask yourself, is this the Okie Doke or the Wokie Doke? It's not the Wokie Doke. The Wokie Doke is, I am my brother's keeper. The Wokie Doke is, I am going to do unto others as I would have them do unto me. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Because let me tell you what the Okie Doke is. The Okie Doke is all fear-based. And fear is a lower vibrational thing. So anything that's asking you to go into fear, don't shake hands with fear. The purpose of fear is to duplicate itself. Don't shake hands with that. Anything asking you to go into fear, if we don't do this, this is going to happen. There's nothing to fear. And I'm going to tell you why there's nothing to fear. And this is a belief. I believe this is a universal principle that's just true. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not, it's just true. There is nothing outside of the divine. Everything you see is God in expression. Now, what do I mean by that? If you take the worst thing you see on the news, say some city burning, buildings burning, neighborhoods, people's livelihoods, their businesses, their homes, their churches, their communities on fire. Someone did that. It didn't just happen. Someone's doing that. The fires in the West. Anyone who's paying attention understands this is not about climate change. Somebody's doing that because they want everybody to stay in fear. They want everyone to shake hands with fear. Fear is always a liar. And the reason fear is always a liar is because all of us are eternal beings. We cannot be tampered with. We're all an aspect of the Creator. That's the little light that's in everybody. In the Bible it says, I stand at the door and knock. Who do you think that is? That's the spark of divinity that's in everything. And if it doesn't matter what your religion is, this should resonate because it's true. This is bigger than religion. This is bigger than race. It's bigger than gender. This is just about truth. What's true and what's false. It's false that we need to go into fear, but it seems true. That's a half-truth. That's the Okie Doke. Do you want to go for the Okie Doke or the Wokie Doke? Okie Doke, Wokie Doke. Okie Doke, Wokie Doke. The Okie Doke is all around. Believe me. The Okie Doke is all around. Saying Donald Trump is a racist is the Okie Doke. That's easy. It's easy to call somebody a racist. But if you're going to discern what's true from what's false, let me tell you a mistake. Let me tell you something you cannot do. You can point to one example of everybody screwing up, but you can't ignore all the good stuff they do at the same time you're doing it, unless you just want to. That's the Okie Doke. That's the half truth. You got to look at the whole truth. People are complicated. So are you. You're complicated. But you have to look at everybody. You know it's like when you go to school. If you have one bad day at school or a few bad days at school, you don't want to get a grade for the whole year based on those days. You want to say, "Hey, I did my best. I showed up. I came to class. I wasn't late. I did my homework. I got along with the other students. I did the best I could, but I had some bad days. I had some bad days. I mean, if we all see, this is not the time to judge each other because that's going to separate us. Everything that separates us makes us weaker. We don't want to be weaker. We want to be stronger. The Okie Doke makes us weaker. The Wokie Doke makes us stronger. Okie Doke, Wokie Doke. It's that simple. There's a whole lot of Okie Doke that looks good. It sounds right. Here's the Okie Doke. We all need to be afraid of each other because if we don't, we're going to kill each other. Even if you don't have symptoms, we're going to kill each other. That's the Okie Doke. That's the Okie Doke. The Wokie Doke is what these doctors and these scientists who are being censored are saying. I mean, you have to wake up. This is America. Some of these things that are happening are not supposed to happen in America. These are the things that happen in other countries. That your freedom of speech is being tampered with. That you go online and all of a sudden, there's the morality police. There's the fact checkers. Fact checkers is another name for censorship. Fact checkers is Okie Doke. Freedom of speech is Wokie Doke. Freedom of speech means freedom of speech. Either you have it or you don't. If it's subject to fact checkers, it's not free anymore. That's the Okie Doke. If you believe that it's okay for one person to fact check another, let me tell you a joke my dad told me. My father was an army chaplain. One of the best people you ever could have met, rest his soul. Came from a little country town in Oklahoma. And he said he used to admit, he said, I wasn't always the smartest. But he would wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning and study. And he wound up with 3 master's degrees in psychotherapy, pastoral psychotherapy, theology, and I want to say sociology. He had 3 master's degrees. But he really loved just being a chaplain. He talked about the people who would join the military. He counseled the soldiers all day, every day. That's what he did for a living. He just loved them. He just loved to help people. It was just oozing out of him. But he didn't wear it on the sleeve. He wasn't that kind of guy. You might not ever even know he's a chaplain. If you ran into him at the commissary, grocery shopping, you might get in a conversation with him and just say, man, this is a great guy. You wouldn't even know he was, he didn't wear his rank on his sleeve. He wasn't that kind of cat, But he liked to tell jokes, So he said, there was a couple down in the country, and they had worked out a system so that because some days we all have a bad day, and so what would happen is the wife, if she pinned her apron in a certain way, this is gonna sound really old fashioned for the young people. They're gonna say, "Oh, this guy's telling the old fashioned joke." But anyway, she pinned herself in a certain way. Then it means she had a bad day, and the husband knew, don't mess with her to that, And they just worked out a system. They said, what we decided to do was just She gets to decide all the, you know, the little things. And I decide all the big things. And the person who was listening to him said, well, who decides what's big and what's little? He said, oh, she does. And it's kind of like that with the fact checkers. Who decides what's a fact and what's not? Now I'm going to give you a good example of Okie Doke and Wokie Doke, and it's all over the TV. For 65 years, a drug called hydrochloroquine has been effective and considered very safe. So safe, they give it to pregnant women. But all of a sudden, somehow, the TV started telling everybody it's not safe. It might not be safe. Well, here's the Okie Doke. The Okie Doke is if there's a safe and effective treatment, you can't fast track a vaccine. That's why the safe and effective treatment has to start getting attacked. With what? The Okie Doke. It's being attacked with the Okie Doke. It's not safe anymore. Well, then you have all these doctors and you have actual studies, scientific studies. They tell you, let's listen to the scientists. But what they mean is the ones that we tell you to listen to. Don't listen to all of them. Don't listen to the actual doctors who are treating people. Not those scientists. They're scientists too. You know how much science you need to take to become a doctor? A lot. A lot. A lot. Not just the biology that you and I took. One class here, there, Not that. No, no, no. They're taking organic chemistry, all types of biology. I mean, who knows what they take, But they're also being, the schools are being controlled by, there's a conflict of interest that's undisclosed. A lot of these schools are being controlled by the companies that sell drugs. This is a conflict of interest. Because the drugs, and part of it is because of, and this is I hope I don't get into the weeds too much, but I mean, I'm a business guy, I'm an entrepreneur, but I really study business. And if a person says, here's a question, what's the purpose of the corporation? This has a very specific answer. The purpose of the corporation is to maximize shareholder value, period. Not to maximize the customer satisfaction. Not that, no, that's not not to maximize what's good for society. So if you're a drug company, what's the purpose of the drug company's existence? To maximize profit. How do you maximize profit? Well, hell, if you could control what everyone thinks, that maximizes profits. If you can control what the doctors know and don't know, that could help you maximize profits. So it's sort of like, this is why, this is really why capitalism gets a bad name. You need ethical capitalism. The general idea of capitalism is not bad, actually, because it has some very good points to it. For example, it just encourages efficiency. If the more efficient things are, the better it is for the customer, because they're going to be getting value for dollar. So you want things to be efficient, but what you don't want is a corporation is almost like having a wolf, running around in your backyard. The wolves may be great for the ecosystem, but you don't want your kids out there when they're running around. It's not a good combination. So it's more about prudence. We just need to see these corporations for who they are and what they're doing. And if we shine some light on them, because I'm going to tell you what does not maximize shareholder value. A boycott does not maximize shareholder value. If people decide they don't want to support your company because they can see you, That will change the behavior, because anything that doesn't maximize shareholder value has to be looked at. And that's why you see a lot of these companies supporting all of these social movements, because they know they messed up. They know what they've been doing. So I got my working man's hat on today. I bought this hat brand new, obviously, but I've just had it for so long, and it's just worn, and I probably should do something about it, but sometimes I just like to wear it. It puts me in a certain mood. It puts me into my working man's mood. But anyway, so we there's this narrative about there being this race war or something. Okay, that's the Okie Doke. The Wokie Doke is we're all patriots. We all love our country. We all want to see it better, and we're tired of being lied to. We want truth. We want the whole truth and nothing but the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. See, we need to believe in the goodness in each other. We need to know that those people in the streets, they are out there because of the goodness in their heart, whether you can see it or not. It doesn't look good. It's not, definitely not Dr. King's style of, which was the thing that people don't understand about nonviolent protest. It's way more powerful, because you can maintain moral authority. But as soon as you start tearing up people's property, hurting other people, you don't have any moral authority anymore. Now you're just a mob. And nobody wants to support that. So it's weaker. It's not as strong as nonviolent. Nonviolent is definitely more effective. Dr. King and them proved that during the civil rights movement. Without question, that was more powerful. If you want to go into fear, war is fear. When you're warring against someone, that's just fear. That's the sort of it's one of the lowest place you can devolve to. We can't sit down and work out whatever is between us. We can't sit here and say, I can see the divine in you, and you can see the divine in me. So what differences do we have that we can't work out? We can work them out. That's the Wokie Doke. The Wokie Doke is we can work out our differences. Maybe we don't even have as many differences as we think we do. We probably don't. The Okie Doke is that, oh yeah, let's fight. Let's do this. That's the Okie Doke. There are people that push the Okie Doke. They sell Okie Doke for a living. Stop buying it. Don't buy Okie Doke. Just get Wokie Doke. Okay. All right. It's all about the Wokie Doke. It's funny because Wokie Doke came to me a couple years ago. I just been sitting on it because I didn't know what it was. And I made a video the other day and I kept saying, this is just the Okie Doke. This is just the Okie Doke. And then I heard it. I was like, Okie Doke, Wokie Doke. Okie Doke, Wokie Doke. We're going to make a song. I did a review of T.I. and Alex Jones. And I want to invite those two cats to come together. Let's have like a summit. Let's have a Wokie Doke summit. And it's just around this idea of patriotism. All the patriots need to unite. If you're a patriot, if you love your country, and you want the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth, say no to the Okie Doke. Say yes to the Wokie Doke. Okay? Wokie Doke. Okie Doke. Okie Doke. Wokie Doke. Okie Doke. Wokie Doke. Okie Doke. Wokie Doke. We want the whole truth. We want the Wokie Doke. We don't want the Okie Doke anymore. So we need a couple of dollars to put this whole thing together. So we're gonna have a GoFundMe. Go to Wokie Doke GoFundMe. Wokie Doke GoFundMe. And let's see if we can't do an anthem. It's, remember We Are the World? It's time for a We Are the World type of anthem. But it's going to have a diverse group of people. Alex Jones can invite some people. T.I. can invite some people. And we'll make this, I don't know how exactly we're going to do it. But we're going to listen to the words Dr. King left for us, because they were so profound and they're prophetic. He said half truth. Propaganda is based on half truth. If a few people are going to control a lot of people, then they need to control what you think. They need to keep you at each other's throats all the time. They need to keep you in fear. And fear is a liar. Fear is a liar. We're gonna go back to our faith. We're gonna rely on our faith and our belief that, there's goodness in everybody. Everybody can be good. Everybody can be great. As I said, everybody can be great because everyone can serve. And right now, it's time for service. It's time for service. It's time for us to serve each other with the simple recognition that, yes, I am my brother's keeper. Yes, I am. And my brother doesn't have to believe everything I believe. My sister doesn't have to believe everything I believe. They can believe whatever they want to believe. They're still my brother. They're still my sister. They can still be patriots. See, there's that half-truth leads you to a lot of wrong conclusions. The half-truth says that we need some kind of war. We don't need any kind of war. The group was right. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So some people won't even know that, things are at a place where it's really time for grown people to know the difference between the Okie Doke and the Wokie Doke. The half-truth and the whole truth. And we're going to have to share information, and we have to do it in a neighborly way. It's not going to have to be confrontational, and it's going to be all about embracing our as patriots. And as patriots, we support the Constitution. The Constitution is resilient enough. It's buoyant enough. It's flexible enough. We can solve our problems inside of that. We don't need a new system. We don't need some, Andrew Young made a video saying we needed a global CEO with a good personality who's going to tell us which experts can tell us how to run our lives. Essentially, that was his message. And he based it on 4 half-truths. One half-truth was that there's this pandemic and it's killing people. That's a half-truth. The whole truth is it's not as deadly as the flu. So that's not a reason for us to fear anything. We don't have to go into fear. You've never been told to stay home for 6 months because of the flu. And you've never been told you can't, your neighbor is going to make you sick because of the flu. That's never happened. It's never happened before because that's a half-truth. That's the Okie Doke. It's time for the Wokie Doke, okay? And he said that. And then the second thing he said is because of that, there's this economic crisis. It's being deliberately manufactured. There's a certain group that wants to keep everything shut down. And they keep telling you how afraid you need to be. And they changed the metric. Beginning, it was hospitalizations and deaths. But that dropped by 90%. They didn't want to talk about that. So then they started talking about new cases. So the Okie Doke is, it's really dangerous and you better wear your mask. And that's the Okie Doke. The Wokie Doke is, it's basically like one of the 29 strains of that virus. 29. If you take one of these tests, it can be picking up on, you could have had that 2 years ago. And that test will say that you got, that's a new case. So they changed the metrics because that's an easier number to manipulate. Half truth, propaganda. That's the Okie Doke. Time for the Wokie Doke. We know better than that. We want to listen to people like Robert Kennedy Jr. He's an expert on vaccines. He knows what they're doing. It's a $1 trillion business opportunity with zero liability because they were paying out billions of dollars because of vaccine injuries. They don't want to talk about that. But talk to Robert Kennedy. Go look at his videos. Robert Kennedy Jr. has been trying to tell the whole world for 20 years about the dangers of vaccines. He can't get on mainstream media. It's why, because that's the competitors. The people selling the vaccines control everything you see. You don't have to believe in any kind of conspiracy theory, but you better figure out. Dr. King said it is your business to know the difference between the half truth and the whole truth. That's everybody's business, and we can't just afford to just take everybody's word for everything anymore. We can't just we've been getting lied to. So now we know that we have to wake up. It's time to wake up. So anyway, what problem are we solving? People don't know the difference between the Okie Doke and the Wokie Doke, and we're gonna help them figure it out. And we're gonna do it we're gonna do it in creative ways. Like we'll just make a "We Are the World" sort of anthem, and we'll have T.I. and Alex and a bunch of other people who are patriots. If you're a patriot, if you believe in the Constitution, if you can support the Constitution and you love your country, then you're a patriot. And it doesn't matter if you're from another country either. You don't have to be there. We're American patriots, but we support the idea of patriotism all over the globe. That's a global movement. Those are people who like their countries. If you like the Olympics, then you probably are a patriot, because that's based on the idea that people can love their countries without hating other countries. They can do business with each other and benefit each other. They can do trade deals that actually help people, that create jobs, that create prosperity. That's a good thing, you know. So anyway, please go to our share. First of all, share this, like this video, share it with any patriot that you know. And you know what I want to do? Because I think this is a powerful idea. Just like Alex Jones and T.I. sat down and had a conversation, that was about mutual respect. They were both saying, I see you. I respect you. I see that you have good in your I can see that you're a patriot, and I'm a patriot. But we don't agree on everything. Let's talk about those things in a neighborly way. That's what they did. They started that conversation with that. And to me, that showed a lot of courage and a lot of leadership. And we need them to keep leading. And we need to join them and put some effort behind them. So this is my attempt. Let's get together and make a "We Are the World" type of song. Can have rap in it, and the lyrics are gonna basically help the people figure out the difference between the Okie Doke and the Wokie Doke. If you can support that idea, please look below, go to our GoFundMe, and do what you can, and we will get this thing done real quick. I mean, we need to get it done in the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be, it'll get done very quickly, and we may have to. We'll piece it together with technology, or we may get in one place. Maybe we'll all go down to Austin, and have Alex host us in Austin and make it down there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'm just one patriot trying to do my part. And, if I had all the resources in the world, I would just write the check, but I don't. So I'm saying to other patriots, hey, can you get behind this idea? And I'm going to ask my friend Steve Motley, who really inspired me to start making these videos. Me and him are a version of Alex and T.I. I can see the good in that man. I mean, he does it. He's entertaining. He has integrity. He's smart as heck. He's got a very interesting career. He was a Marine. He's a retired Marine officer, you know, and he's a Marine through and through, you know. But when they made the commandant of the Marines, it was a black woman. And he talked about it. He said, man, she's all right with me. He said, I know one thing. The Marines don't give away anything. If she got that, she earned it. And I respect that. Like, he spoke out about how supportive he was. This is not just a black person. It's a woman. He's a Marine. He's saying she earned it. See, that's a fair person can tell the truth. Even if it might be unconventional, it might be new, might feel a little uncomfortable. The truth is the truth. We need to be able to tell the truth and align to truth, because the half truth, that the world we're looking at is because of half truth. That's the only reason it's that way. And if they foment a race war and we buy into it, it's because we bought into half truths. And we're not going to do that. We're going to listen to Dr. King, and we're going to do what we can with what we have, and it's going to be enough. Because I'm a patriot and you're a patriot. We're just patriots. We don't have to agree on anything else. We don't have to agree on anything. You can be a Democrat and still be a patriot. You can. But you can't be aligned to things that are not true. And we're not going to make it political. It's not political. It's just about true and false. And it's about patriotism. We love our country. We want the best of our country, for our country. And the only way that you can want the best for your country is to want the best for your countrymen and women. You're gonna have to want the best for everybody. If you don't want the best for everybody, how can you be a patriot? You know, how is that patriot? Like, you know, you love your country. That's why you're a patriot. And you support the Constitution, which means you got to read it. And you really like that Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's all we're saying. I don't know what Andrew Young is saying, that we need a global CEO with a good personality who's going to listen to the experts and tell us what to do. That's the Chinese model. Go look at the poor people in China and see how well they're doing. They don't like it that much. So I don't know why Andy's selling that. But I'm saying I'm not with that. That's the Okie Doke, and I'm with the Wokie Doke. Okay? All right? I'm with Alex Jones and T.I. I'm with them. They with the Wokie Doke too. I guarantee. All right? So anyway, let's do our thing. I don't want to go too long. So we'll see you soon. Peace.